I had posted a YouTube video detailing what was involved in the construction of my 2-story home addition, and I ended the video by giving a tour of the dining room that got enlarged. The link to that video is in the description box below. This is the second part of that home addition video, and in this video I'm going to show you how a small bedroom located right above the dining room got expanded exactly the way I had wanted it. In addition, I'm going to briefly discuss a problem that I noticed with my addition about a year after it got built, and how a stupid mistake that I made when I signed the contract with my contractor almost cost me thousands of dollars to fix it. So hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. I'm going to start out by showing a few photos of the construction of the second floor bedroom. The best part about building this addition was that I could add whatever features I wanted, and I could care less whether it made any architectural sense. First, I added a huge window to the left side wall. I also added a huge bay window to the back wall. Lastly, I decided to make the ceilings vaulted. I love high ceilings, so I figured, why not? And now for the room tour. In case you're wondering what my interior design style is, it's basically old granny style mixed with cheap IKEA and Target furniture and accessories. These red lines indicate where the exterior wall that got broken down used to be. So all of this area is new construction. Just this portion is the old bedroom. And this is how the vaulted ceiling looks. The contractor succeeded in making my vision for this room and the dining room below become reality. However, it turns out that he used the cheapest materials around, such that the window trim on the exterior began to deteriorate and decompose about a year later. The new addition quickly began looking like it was about 20 years old, while the rest of the house that was actually about 20 years old looked much newer. When I contacted him to come see how the trim would crumble when I pressed on it, I was hoping that he would offer to replace the rotting trim pieces and honor his warranty. I mean, the exterior of a new construction should not fail like this within a year. But instead, he told me that I would need to pay him $18,000 to fix the rotting trim problem. When I balked at the $18,000 price tag, he told me that he could replace the rotted pieces with the same material that he had used before for $3,200, but that he highly recommended against it because the problem would just come back. I was flabbergasted because when I was interviewing him for the project and the few times we met early on as the construction got started, he repeatedly told me that he always uses high quality materials even if that means he makes less money, and that his construction will last for years, and that he returns to take care of his customers if anything goes wrong, yada yada. Well, it turns out that he didn't use high quality materials, but rather crappy materials that he wouldn't recommend for anyone to use. The huge mistake I made was that I didn't pay attention to the fact that the contract did not say anything about the building materials that he was going to use. I didn't know anything about building parts or building materials, so I just trusted the contractor and decided to rely on his expertise and his judgment to get whatever materials were durable and appropriate for the various structures. I also failed to notice that the contract that I signed did not have any warranty in writing. That was really stupid in hindsight, but I didn't do anything about it because we had a great rapport and the contractor managed to convince me that he was an honest stand-up guy, so I took him at his word. He told me how he would fix things for his past customers even years later and that I was in good hands. I had no reason to believe that he would not honor his word, especially because we had talked about other projects that he could do for me in the future. I also thought that if I were to insist that he put things in writing, that would indicate that I didn't trust him and was questioning his character. So in my ignorance of what you're supposed to look for in these types of contracts, I signed the contract that was just 1 page long, and the description of everything that was going to get done in this big project was only half a page long. When he realized that I wasn't going to pay him $18,000 for him to fix his own shoddy work, and that I was going to try to make him liable, every other word that came out of his mouth was a lie. The things he said were full of contradictions, were pulled out of thin air, and made no sense whatsoever. Some people can get very creative at fabricating all sorts of lies. Anyway, what I would recommend to everyone who is planning to work with a contractor on their home remodeling or home addition project is to make sure that the contract contains all of the language that will help protect you if something were to go wrong, and don't worry that you might be offending the contractor if you need to push for inclusion of certain details and certain terms in the contract. This might be a no-brainer for some of you, but hindsight is 20/20, and I never imagined that my contractor would do an about face and that we'd be forced to step into that place of animosity. Now I'm going to make an announcement about channel memberships. YouTube is allowing viewers to become channel members for a monthly fee. Now this is different from being channel subscribers. Channel members get special perks that are not available to non-member viewers. So for my channel members at any level, and only for my channel members, I will be hosting live streams with live chats to continue the discussion on some of my videos, where I'll be sharing much more specific details that I would not feel comfortable having out there for just anyone to see, especially when the subject matter involves controversy with other parties. My first live stream will be a follow-up to this video where I will discuss the avenues of recourse I pursued, such as which organizations and offices I contacted to complain, what my experiences with them were, and what resolution I finally achieved. The live streams and chats will allow the members to ask questions, which I'll be able to answer in real time. Then I'll edit the live streams to create videos that will only be available to my exclusive members to view at any time later. And then there's a third membership level, which is called Crafts membership. And for the vast majority of viewers, this would not be appropriate for you, because for Crafts members, I'll be creating videos on how to make greeting cards. And the members will be receiving via US Postal Service some basic supplies to help them make the same greeting cards that I'll be showing people how to make. These videos will be available to the general public sometime after the live stream is done.